Hello and welcome to Japanese craft beer reviews. It's been a while for me, maybe not for you since you're just turning this on right now, but I haven't made a review for a while and I'm going to get back into it. I've got a whole series of beers from a single brewery that I'm going to look at, I think 9 or 10 perhaps. The brewery is called Ise Kadoya, and they are located in Mie Prefecture, which is in central Japan, and it is the kind of an offshoot of a sake brewery, which opened in 1575, so they have been around for a while brewing sake, and they opened as a craft beer brewery in 1997 with some success. It was kind of helmed by I think it still is, by a man named Suzuki, who got a PhD in some form of biology. I don't know exactly which, but he studied yeast, which is of course good for a brewer. And they are located again in Ise City in Mie Prefecture, which is a very famous city. Kind of traditional city, and it's host to the Ise Grand Shrine, one of the most important Shinto shrines in Japan. And they later hired a brewer named Deguchi, who is quite good, and an assistant who used to work at, I'm sorry, no, the assistant left there, that's right, Deguchi was the brewer. And so they have a restaurant there called Byakuda, and their main brewery is now called the Shimono Brewery. They built this new brewery in 2018, and they have restaurants at the Naiku Mai Shrine and Geku Mai Shrine. There are actually two shrines, the inner one and the outer one, and they have a shop at their Byakuda restaurant where you can pick up beers there. They have also a couple of restaurants in Tokyo, one in Shinjuku and one in Yaesu, where you can get a number of taps. Ise Kadoya makes a lot of beers. I think I'm pretty safe in saying that they make more varieties than any other brewer in Japan, craft beer brewer. It's really kind of hard to keep up with them, and many of them, of course, are limited or seasonal beers, one-offs, and they do have kind of a set line, a regular line as well. I have a playlist of Ise Kadoya beers, so you can check that out. Please do, variety, and I'll add these beers to that. Now, this is an introduction, of course. If you have, you can skip ahead if you want to see the reviews of the beers. I'm going to look at some of their what we call omiyage beers, souvenir beers, which are sold in and around the Ise Shrine area for tourists, and then some of their newer kind of one-off beers, kind of interesting, unusual beers that they make. Okay, so we're going to begin with one of the beers from Ise Kadoya now. And here is another beer from Ise Kadoya Brewery, and this is Ise Kadoya Brown Porter, and it is a porter, and I don't know exactly the provenance of brown porter. It sounds like it should be, it's a tautology or something. It should be just simply a porter, because porters are brown or very dark brown, and this one is 5% alcohol and 40 international bittering units. It is this is a British style, and they explain that here on the label here. It's 18th century British style, which of course I think at one point was probably the most popular beer in the UK, and it was a working man's drink. And as you see, if you can see on the label here, you see porters carrying stuff off of ships and unloading things on the docks, and so very interesting, nice little label art they got here. Not Japanese at all. And this one cost me 605 yen in Ise. I bought it in Ise at the Grand Shrine there, at a shop near the Grand Shrine, and that would be maybe around $5 or so in US dollars. It has only one rating on RateBeer, and it was rated at 4.1, pretty high. And on Untapped, it has 30 ratings, and the average is 3.8, pretty high. So this beer was made for autumn, and we're now in middle of winter, so I've kept it for a while. The drink by date is right here, March 28th of this year, and we are now in January, middle of January, so it should be in fairly good condition. Yeah, so I'm expecting some real chocolatey kind of notes, roast notes from this, maybe some sweetness as well, some malty sweetness. So let's give it a go. Okay, of course it is very, very dark brown, translucent as you can see. You know, some light is coming through it, some ruby highlights there, and a kind of dark tan head. 1 finger or so, a little bit spongy. Aroma, as expected, yeah. So they said, they claimed on their website this is based on the recipe for their stout, their former stout. And it does have a kind of stoutish nose. A little bit stronger than most porters, I think. But again, the line between a porter and a stout is I think these days we could probably say it's primarily alcohol level. But porter is a style that never really seemed to be a big one among craft beer brewers in the U.S. Kind of a basic style, you know, I don't know. Nicer than a brown ale, that's for sure. So I get a lot of nice sweet chocolatey kind of roasty notes, a bit of maybe something almost smoky here. Yeah, and the flavor's almost the same. Light chocolate, good roastiness. Body's a little bit thinner than a stout would be for drinkability. You know, you can put away several of these, I think, in a pub. Very pleasant overall. Unassuming, you know, it is what it is. You know, you're not going to expect any big flash or you know, any supercharged hops or anything from this at all. But you know, it's a pleasant drink, and as I said, it was a working man's drink in England. You know, probably before it was replaced by lagers, when lagers developed. You know, yeah, very nice. I could recommend this very highly. Again, it's called Ise Kadoya Brown Porter. It is, I think, kind of a limited beer, as it says here, limited brew, and so if you happen to see it around, give it a go. I think Ise Kadoya does export some to other countries, so you may see some of their beers and try them out. And if you do, please send me a comment, tell me what you think, okay? And subscribe to the channel. I have a playlist of Ise Kadoya beers. You can watch all of them, or one of them, or none of them, as you like. You know, so it's there for you if you want it. Okay, well, that's it for today. I hope you're doing well. Please stay healthy. Bye-bye.